Bonjour à vous tous, mes amis et famille, and good morning, friends and family. Lucas Hammond's here. I was going to just send out an email with further details about my trip to Haiti, but I started to get, I was kind of lining it up like, you know, kind of just painting the picture for you, and then gonna do day by day for the 7 or 8 days we were there. So I'm doing that and just started day two and I'm on page 4, single space. So, I just get kind of ramble a little bit and also I just really want to paint the picture and I feel like it doesn't really do it justice over email, over a Word document. So I'm just going to give you a little 5-minute spiel and let you know how it went. So sorry for the delay. I've been very busy with my internship and for all sports, long days and getting ready for summer school and getting moved in and all that stuff. So anyways, here we go. Super late, but fashionably. So a few things you need to know. First, so I went with the Sooners for Haiti team, which is a group of athletes. It originally started with the women's basketball team with Coach Jan Ross, which is the assistant coach, and co-led by Adam Barnett, which at the time was an associate pastor of Journey Church. But now he's currently serving as an associate pastor of, can't remember the name, but it's in Tulsa, and he's doing great things there. But anyway, so Adam and Jan led the trip. I think it started about 7 years ago. And, Jan just thought it'd be cool to take her team to Haiti. And anyway, so every year it's kind of grown, and now we have a lot of football guys. We had volleyball girls this year, volleyball girls last year. We had a track and field person. I think that's about it. And then we have some people that aren't athletes, obviously, like myself. I'm on the scout team, and when they have extra spots, they, open that to scout players and managers and family and friends and whatnot. But everyone mixed together makes for a great trip. It's a good balance. And anyways, so Jan Ross is the assistant basketball coach at the University of Oklahoma under Sherry Cole. Love her to death. She's really she's like a grandma figure to everyone. That's how people see her, and they just treat her with such great respect. And if you can find anyone that doesn't love Jan Ross as much as, everyone does, then I'd be very surprised. She went through some things in her life. She battled with cancer, and all these things, she overcame that. And great coach, great mother, great leader, and she leads this trip every year just so courageously, and I really just commend her on that. And growing really close to her, and I'll talk more about her in a minute, but she's great. And then Adam Barnett, I grew up in Norman, and so he's always been the associate pastor at Journey Church. He did live stream and college ministry at Journey. Such a great speaker, such a great communicator, and just great in relationships. And and just bold guy. He's been all around the country. I think he said he's had the privilege of serving in over 70 countries, and he's just a great guy. Very interesting, very fun to hang around. So them two, they kind of led the trip together. They started this, about 7 years ago or so. And so we go to the Mission of Hope. That's who we go through pretty much, and I'm going to explain that for just a little bit. Basically, the Mission of Hope is an organization built by Brad and Vanessa Johnson, and they went in as a young couple about 15 years ago, and they had one mission. They felt called to the country of Haiti, and their mission statement was just to make a difference and change in the lives of people who live in Haiti. And so that's exactly what they did. A young couple goes in, they had $800 in a savings account. They went in, and they just wanted to be led by God, and that's exactly what they did. And they went in, and they kind of started doing this thing, and they got this property. They got a little house built for them, and they start doing this thing. They don't really know what they're going to do, and they just kind of hearing from the Lord and all this stuff. And eventually, they kind of established an orphanage, a small orphanage, and a school. And at the time, the school was just taught a couple subjects, lots of orphans. But anyway, so they find out that that the kids are coming to school and they're not able to learn. They're passing out. They're malnourished. They're haven't had food and water in days, and they're not being successful. And so what they did to combat that is they raised a small fund, and then they began to put peanut grinders on the trees around the school, and they would provide the bread so that at least before school they could get a little peanut butter jelly sandwich just to put in their bellies, and that did wonders. I mean, kids were not malnourished anymore. They were able to listen, learn, and anyways, over the years, just grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, now there's an orphanage. There's a full school. In the school they learn. I think what they said is they learn obviously Creole. So Creole is it's a slang of French, and so it's pretty much French. And so they learn that. And I think he said starting in second grade they start learning Spanish and French. French is what the businessmen of Haiti speak, so you start to learn that. It's kind of like learning proper English instead of, teenager language. And then Spanish, obviously. And then I think he said you could choose an elective language to learn too. So potentially you could have 4 languages by the time you graduate high school. Completely fluent. I mean, that's incredible. Huge advantage in Haiti. And so anyways, now they have all these different, all these subjects, different, more an incredible school. They have, like a orphanage, daycare, kindergarten, all the way through high school. They have a high school basketball team. They have a boys' home. They do this thing called transition homes, which one of the goals going into that Brad and Vanessa Johnson wanted to have was not to just go in and just baby these Haitians because, they're already a poor country and this earthquake hits and it just devastates the whole land. And their goals wasn't just to go in as these Americans just to baby them because we have so much money. That's not what it was. It's to go in and give them an opportunity to get back on their feet and then become difference makers and, decision makers and important, influential people of their society out in Haiti. And so what they do is they take them in as orphans, they raise them, feed them, educate them, and then boys' home, and then they would go to the transition homes, which is basically they pay for their house. It's a house. Right outside of the Mission of Hope, and they pay for that, but they don't really feed them. They don't, they're providing a home for them, but they're not just giving them everything. They want them to slowly transition back into society, and it's been working good so far. I think they placed the first group into transition homes this year. But anyways, yeah, so they have that. I mean, they have a clinic, kind of like a hospital, like an urgent care kind of thing. If it's super bad, obviously you need to get ambulanced to Port-au-Prince, which is the state capital of Haiti, to go to the real hospital. But there's an urgent care there. Orphanage, like I said, there is a big warehouse where all their donated and shipped goods they keep in there. There's the Hope House, which is where the younger boys stay. There's the I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's called something kitchen. Basically, it's where they eat all their meals, and it's just incredible. They built a dormitory for all the teams that come in to serve, and most teams will come to Mission Hope. They'll stay at the Mission of Hope or the Bercy campus, which we'll talk about in a minute. They'll stay in the Mission of Hope. That's where I went when I went in high school. That's where I stayed, and so part of it is I was kind of shocked when I went because this is my third year. So I went once in high school, and then I went last year, Students for Haiti, and this just now, Students for Haiti. So when I came to high school, Mission of Hope wasn't as developed, and they, anyways, we stayed there in the in the dormitory, and there's no AC. It's basically it's pretty much a concrete slab with like a little spring mattress on it, and then mosquito nets around it so you don't get bit by mosquitoes. And then no AC, like I said, I brought a box fan. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, I had a box fan on my chest, and I move around a lot in my sleep. As soon as I move, the box fan falls on the ground because I'm on the top bunk because I want to be by the window to get air. Box fan falls on the ground. I immediately wake up, start sweating, which is how I am. But anyway, so I mean, it was still good. It's just exhausting. We went a week, worked all week, didn't get a lot of sleep, didn't eat a whole lot. But anyway, so there's a dormitory there for the teams to stay at. And anyways, Mission of Hope today. They have teams come in all the time, most frequently in the summertime. They feed 93,000 Haitians per day on the Mission of Hope. It's co-ran by Vice President Otis Garrison and his wife Charlotta. And we had the privilege of working with them. We've kind of established a good bond with the Mission of Hope and with Otis. And so whenever the Students for Haiti comes in, we usually work with Otis. And anyway, so then next is the Bercy campus, which is an extension of the Mission of Hope. And basically, it's developing, it's building. It's in a city called Bercy, and it's just a small campus. It has a school. I think it has an orphanage. They just built a pastoral training center, which I'll get to, something that we worked on. And there's a playground, and obviously there's a school. That's pretty much it. That's a developing kind of city and kind of place there. Let's see, where else did we go? Let's see, Minotree is the main place that we were stationed this past week to do work. Minotree is one of the most dangerous villages in the country at night. It's very, very high in its prostitution rate among women, and it just turned into this dark and evil place at night. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but in my perspective, I think because of that, we wanted to shed some light and just how about the village and bring something positive to the village. And so that's why we worked there. And so anyways, we did that. And a lot of our translators are from Minotree. So the Mission of Hope also employs hundreds of Haitians. If there's a job that can be done and it can be done by a Haitian, much rather a Haitian do it than we hire some American or Otis or Brad or someone. Much rather a Haitian be able to get paid to be able to do that job. But anyway, so there's that. And then we also went to Vivi. We call her Vivi. Her name is Viennese Pierre-Louis. She's a player on the women's basketball team, great young woman. And anyways, she was raised in Haiti, kind of back and forth, U.S., Haiti. Dad lived in Haiti, mom lived in the U.S. And anyways, every year we'll go visit her dad, who lives in St. Mark. So I'll talk about that, but that's just a part of it. So pretty much I'll just go day by day. Every morning we started off with devotionals on the beach, which was incredible. I think that's where God spoke to me the most, was a devotional on the beach. I mean, yes, it helps that we're on the beach, beautiful mountains surrounding, waves just crashing against the shore, beautiful sight, beautiful temperatures, beautiful everything. But I think just there's something about, getting up early and being in fellowship with the people that you're all here for the same cause. You may not know everyone, but you get to know everyone. It becomes this brotherhood, sisterhood kind of thing. And all kind of athletes kind of just on the same page and just hearing from the Word of God, whether that's from someone speaking or through scripture or worship or whatever it is. It was just crazy. And so anyways, devotionals, we usually meet down there around 7:30 in the morning. And it's the same time in Haiti, except they don't take account for daylight savings. So technically it's the same time, but So 7:30 we'll have devotional. We do an annual Students for Haiti rock skippage. It's a tradition for Students for Haiti. Basically, Adam will get up there and he'll say, the Students for Haiti team has met and they have elected so-and-so, Lucas Hammonds, to come do the annual rock skippage for this morning. So they have picked up a rock already and they'll skip it and everyone will cheer and it's just a fun thing. And then Adam proceeds every morning, every year to say, so the Students for Haiti committee and I have met with the owner of the resort and we told them that if they don't improve the view, we won't be coming back next year. So I just apologize for the terrible view. I mean, says it with a completely straight face every single time, and it's just funny because I mean, just like I said, I just demonstrated it. It was the waves and the view, and it's off in the cloudy distance, there's the mountains, and you're on this beautiful resort. Well, the resort, I'll talk about that real quick. So last year we stayed at Calico, which is the resort just half a mile up the road. You get on a boat and swim over there half a mile. That's right there. And then the next one's Wahoo, which I think Wahoo's a little bit nicer. There's volleyball courts, basketball court. We had a buffet for dinner, always delicious. AC in our rooms with cable, but no one watches cable. I mean, we used AC, but I had to turn it off during the day, so you know, kind of the good feeling was getting home, getting back after a long day and you're hot and you have to go in there and it's terrible because the AC's turned off, and you turn it on and you go back outside, do whatever, rinse off, you know, talk to people, and then when you come back in, it's cool and it's refreshing, but you don't want to stay in there too long. You want to be social, so you know, you just change or shower or whatever and you get back out there and hang out. Anyways, Wahoo, the beach, I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of swim days because you can't swim after dark. Got dark around 6:30, and we'd get back around that time every day. But down there, I mean, it was a beautiful sight. You could just hang out, lots of cliffs to just sit on and just enjoy the sights. And there was these inflatable trampolines out on the water with these anchors on them, so there'd be like 2 trampolines and then like a connector piece. And so the task was to try to run across the thing. There's like an inflatable like bridge. Try to run across it, make it to the other side, but it's always tilting, and it was a funny thing to see, I'll tell you that. And anyway, so there's that. There's stand-up, there's kayaking, canoeing, stand-up paddleboarding. There's a surfboard you can get on. There's always Haitians in their boats right around there that'll offer you $5 for 30 minutes. Take you out to a reef, go snorkeling, which I did, and it was awesome. Although I saw an eel, a jellyfish, and a school of fish swim under me, and it freaked me out, so we left. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much Wahoo Bay. Anyway, so yeah, we have Devo, and so basically how it works, we do the rock skippage, and then someone from the committee normally, it would be like Adam or Jan Ross or Darren Sixkiller, who's a pastor that's co-leading the trip as well. He spoke once, or Otis, the vice president of Mission of Hope, was there. He spoke once, or his wife spoke once, or something like that. It'd just be a brief little 15-minute deal. We'd pray afterwards, just a moment of silence, just to meditate for a couple minutes on what just happened, and Adam would encourage us to, what did the Lord want you to hear from what just happened. And one of the craziest things I think that happened to me was before I left on this trip, I kind of was, I was kind of uneasy, just about, like the man I saw when I looked in the mirror, wasn't really who I wanted to see, just because of some things, and, just the stubbornness side of me, and I won't go into too much detail, but it's just not exactly who I wanted to see. Not the godly man that I was trying to build myself up to be, is not who I was seeing in the mirror. And I was just kind of dealing with that and kind of facing my own demons there. And anyways, go on this Haiti trip, didn't think of it. And so DH, his name is Daniel Holge. He it was a friend of Adam's. He went up and spoke, and I had my journal, and I usually don't ever write in this thing. Like I do something, like last year I journaled a little bit, and I mean I brought it to every devotional, and but I didn't ever really write anything. And just before Daniel spoke, he was the only person that said this. He's like, I encourage you to write this down. Just write, if something hits you, just write it down. And so that one time I wrote this down, and this was just, when he first said this, it was just kind of like a, like, I was like, okay, yeah, that's a good word. Like, it's cool. But, it didn't really hit me till I got home and I opened it up. I was kind of having quiet time, and I opened it up and I read it, and I was like, wow. And what he said, he was kind of just talking about going through life, and he was in a really bad car accident. He should have died. His car flipped like 15 times and all this stuff. And just about who you see when you look in the mirror. And what he kind of said was, when you look in the mirror, I hope you see what God sees and what the Bible says about you, not what the world says about you. And like I said, at the time, it was just kind of like, oh man, that's good. But then I get home and we're in quiet time, and I'm kind of open that up, and I see that, and I was like, I was sitting in this chair at this desk praying to God how I was struggling about the things, like what I am when I look in the mirror. And then I see that, and when Adam talks about what does the Lord have for you, when in this message that you just heard, and he says that, and so I just spoke literally directly to me. He's like, I hope don't see what the world tells you that you are when you look in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, see what God says that you are, what the Bible says that you are. You know, that's forgiven and that's loved, and that's. Anyways, so that was a crucial part. That was just one of the things during devotional that really stuck to me, and there's stuff like that every day. I mean, it was. I don't have it on right now, but Charlotta, Otis's wife, kind of spoke, and she gave us these yellow wristbands. And I don't know where it's at, but these yellow wristbands, and she kind of gave us a story about how her and her grandson were kind of driving in the car one day, and they saw a yellow Mustang or some yellow car, I'm not sure. And so grandson says, "Why, like, Grandma, why don't I ever see yellow cars?" And she's like, "I don't know. We don't just don't see them a lot." And then so they brought that their attention, and so they're like, "Okay, we're gonna start looking for yellow cars." And then the next day, and the next day, there are yellow cars everywhere. I mean, they saw like 5 a day. And so it really just kind of brought to their attention, what she wanted to bring to our attention was that you don't find what you don't look for. So if you're looking for something, you'll find it. And that's exactly what God says in the Bible. And if asking, you shall receive. And, and so that's just, if you're not looking for Christ, you're not going to find him. If you're not looking for Jesus and the miracles that he does in everyday life, you're not going to find it. And that's why so many people think that miracles always happen in these third world countries and this and that, and nothing ever happens here. But things happen here every day. We just don't have our eyes open. We don't look for them. We're not ready to accept them happen here. And there are some miraculous things that happen in these other countries, but I think that that's because the love and the desperation and the passion and the yearning for needing Jesus is true and genuine, and it's so prevalent that it just kind of drags God out. But it happens here every day. And anyways, so the yellow wristband just gave us something to remind us of that. And anyways, devotional was just absolutely just phenomenal. So I'll get into the day by day. So the first day we kind of arrive in Haiti. We get to the airport right when we step off the airplane. That was kind of the beginning of like no AC, get used to sweating, like, just whatever. And so we arrive in Port-au-Prince. And, we go for checking, we get customs, all this stuff. And this is kind of the beginning of culture shock for some people, just the way people are. And they like to stare in Haiti, and they move really slow. And anyway, so then we get our stuff, and then, you walk out the doors, and there's all Haitians all lined up, and they try to snatch at your bag. And they'll grab your arm, and they'll do all that. And what they're wanting is to carry your bag for you wherever you're going to help you out, and then they expect pay afterwards. And sometimes, Americans won't know the tradition there and the culture, so they'll just say, okay, well, they're trying to take my bag, they can help me, and they'll take it, and you won't have money to pay them, they'll get very upset, and sometimes, they'll just get upset. So, you just gotta keep them off you, and I've been there before, so, smack them off, say, no merci, which means no thank you, just be nice, treat them with respect, and then you put them in the bus, and then we have a 2-hour bus ride, to, Wahoo Bay, and, just real quick, just the way that they drive in Haiti, you need to be a little bit loco, just to get behind the wheel in Haiti, and a lot of bit loco to actually turn the key on and drive in Haiti. They use their horns on a regular basis. Horn means I'm mad at you. Horn means get out of the street. Horn means I'm coming around you. Horn means hi. horns everywhere. And there's no traffic stop. There's no stoplights, no stop signs, no road signs, no painting on the street, lines. There's none of that. It's just horn, bigger vehicle has the right of way, which completely the opposite in America. It seems that the smaller you are here, the more right of way you get. I mean, dudes just walk across the street and you're supposed to stop for them. But that's our culture. So but there, you walk across the street, you get killed. You lose. You're done. They don't care. They care. They're people, but it's just a culture, and you learn as you grow up. And if we're in a 45 passenger bus, and there's 41 of us, by the way, and we're going, and if there's a car coming, you will pull over and stop and let us get through, or you get hit. That's how it is, and it's really scary. But anyways, so so we're going, and weaving in and out of people, horns going crazy, lots of brakes, lots of screaming. When we come to stops, people are smacking our bus and trying to offer us water, and what they'll do is they'll try to hand you water, and then they're assuming that then you give them money. You don't go to them and buy the water. You can, but normally they'll just be standing on the streets, hand you water, you'll hand them the money, and their money there is called goods, and 60 goods is $1 American dollar. So as you can tell, they live off $1 a day or something. So anyway, so the bus ride's crazy, but our bus driver was phenomenal. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so we call him Sweet Lou. It was like Lou something, but we call him Sweet Lou. Wasn't sweet, or he's sweet, he's a good guy, but the way he drives is very violent. But that's what you have to do to get around in Haiti, and you have a big passenger bus, so he was kind of king of the road, so no big deal. But anyway, so we arrived at the resort, and I remember thinking how I thought last year, after staying at the Mission of Hope, like I said, no AC, no springboards, mosquito nets, all this stuff. We get there, and last year, and I'm like, because I knew we picked up translators from different places and all this stuff, so I was like, what are we doing here? Are we picking up translators? Because we pull up to this resort at Calico, and they're like, all right, get your bags, get off the bus, and I was like, there's no way we're staying here. AC, it was just phenomenal. But anyways, so we pulled in, got off, got our housing situation, went in, turned the AC on, and just chilled pretty much the rest of the night. And we played a lot of cards. We played a few card games. We either played Garbage. Maddie Manning held the house on that one. I never played that. I didn't know how to play that. We played Idiot, which me and Connor taught to everyone, and they really liked it. So we played that. Basically, I have a funny story on that one. That one is there's no winner. There's only one loser, and the loser has to do a bet. And so we were playing one night, and the bet was my friend Lemuel Finley. He was our medical trainer the past 2 years, and he's really cool. Got to know all these kinds of people. Got close with him, and he loses the bet. So we go out to the pool, and I'm standing. The bet was you had to jump in the pool with whatever you had on. Take your phone out, take your wallet, whatever. But all the clothes, hat, shoes, keep it on, jump in. So he loses, and we're in Haiti, so we're wearing tank tops and shorts and whatnot. Anyway, so it's not a big deal, but he loses, and I go to pre-game interview. Have my arm around him. I was like, someone's recording. I was like, I hear my man Lemuel Finley, and I was like pre-game interview, and he just wraps me up, and he's dives into the pool and this is a big guy. He's probably 6'2", 50 or something. I don't know, 60. I don't know, but. And it wasn't like a pencil or a die. It was just straight on back flop in there, all my clothes on. And it was the funniest thing. I got it on video. I can send it to you guys. But anyways, so we played that game. Or we played this game called Peanut Butter, which is basically where you and a partner, you have a sign, which you get 4 of a kind. You do your sign to them, and you call Peanut Butter. And then you win. If someone sees you doing your sign, they can call it Jelly. And if they get you, then you're out. And it's a super fun game. Stayed up pretty much all night, every night playing that game. Anyway, so then the next day, it's Sunday, and we go to the church at the Mission of Hope, which is always a great, phenomenal experience. This is one of my favorite parts. I remember last year when I went, it kind of swept me off my feet. Because you go and it's this building, there's not really windows, there's just bars. It's kind of like a jail almost, just wind comes in. It protects you from the sun because there's a roof, but then the wind comes in and it's awesome. And I remember sitting there and we're kind of worshiping, and it wasn't, there was no English translation, but they're really popular, like modern Christian songs, like, from like Hillsong and, stuff like that. And so you know the melody and you can sing along because you know where it's at in English, but they're all singing in Creole, and then kind of, and once you get there, you're no longer safe. You're attached at the hip with kids. I mean, you're holding them, they're holding onto your hands, they're sitting by you. I mean, it's just like, it's just great. It's phenomenal. But anyway, so I'm sitting there with the kids all around me and we're singing this song, and I look over and it's got to be 10 to 12 years old. I mean, not that old. And I mean, he's got his hands out the bars of the windows, and this hand up in the air just like this. In this hand, he has his Bible open, look to a certain passage, and he's looking up into the sky, and he's just like weeping and singing and worshiping, and kind of brought a tear to my eye. I mean, it was just incredible. It made me kind of think, like, where did I miss the mark? Like, where did I go wrong? Like, this guy's 10 to 12 years old, and he's worshiping God like that. Like, sometimes it takes me a lot just to get to that level and that intensity that he's at worshiping God. And that's incredible. I mean, at that age, 10 to 12 years old, I was wearing Nike shoes, cool clothing, snacking on some candy in the AC, playing games with friends or something. Like, I wasn't like worshiping God like that, a place where there's just so, I mean, it was just, like I said, just so desperate, such a passion that just drags God out. And that really hit me, and that was one of the most pivotal points last year. Anyways, this year it was just kind of it was really good because we got to do worship, and they had a translation, and so one side it was English and one side it was Creole, and so the whole church is Creole, and they're all singing Creole, and it's one of my jams. I remember what song it was. I was like, yes, see, and we're all singing in English. And we're singing at the top of our lungs, and it was just something about, like, them speaking Creole, us speaking English, but it's all one worship, and just one tongue, like, one communication going to God, and I don't know, something about it. It was really powerful, and I just loved it, and it was, you kind of look in the sky, and you can just feel the worship going up, and you can just feel the pleasing that God's getting, and wow, it was incredible. And anyway, so we did that, and then one of my good friends is John Mark. He has a really crazy story. When he was little, when he was about 5 or 6, his dad, his dad left him because his dad just thought he was just a drag on society and cost too much money. His dad left him, doesn't know his dad, and his mom got sick and trying to find him food, and and she ended up dying, and John Mark was kind of on his own for 3 or 4 or 5 days, just wandering, asking for food, asking where, his family's at, and just, and so the Mission of Hope finds him and takes him in, and he grows up, and now he's this big he's like 6'2", big, full of joy, always laughing, always cracking jokes, and I remember one of our jokes when I went in high school was Miami Propedzi, which means Miami's going to lose. Or no, he said, yeah, and so because it was the finals, and Miami was in the finals, and we were talking about that, and anyways, he's going to this great man. He grew up in the Church of the Mission of Hope, and he plays guitar, plays a bunch of drums and instruments there, and he's on the basketball team, and anyways, he got a full academic scholarship to go to school in Oklahoma City, at junior college in Oklahoma City. And so they were all honoring him at the church, and so that was awesome. Didn't know what they were saying because it was in Creole, but it was John Mark, and we've kind of stayed in contact over the years through Facebook and talked along with some other guys that I knew there, and it was awesome. Anyway, so then that was the church, and then pretty much for all the newcomers, we got to just take them around to all the campuses. So we took them to saw the Mission of Hope, obviously. Took them to see the Bercy campus. We took them to see Levesque, which is something I didn't mention, but it's basically a community, has a deaf community and a normal community, and I really got the opportunity to see that place grow since I've been in high school. It was just a land, with and so the Mission of Hope came in and they said, oh, at least we'll try to build you some tents. And it was this company called the Blue Samaritan. It's basically just these blue tents that they would build for people to live in. And and then from there, they had this movement called Blue to Block, which means they wanted to move the people that live in these blue tents to block homes. So then the Mission of Hope went in and they built and it was called MOH 500, and it's 500 block homes that they wanted to build. And so they did that. Ended up turning into 1,000, and now there's like thousands of homes there. And then the American teams would come in, they would talk to the families with the translator, and they would paint their homes. And now it's just this huge, it's a great village right there on the mountainside. It's incredible. But I've seen all that grow from the tents to now, and it's just this full blown. They have the deaf community, they have the normal community, they have outhouses, they have all this stuff. But Lebec was significant because there's 2 orphans at the Mission of Hope that are twins that are about 12 or 13 year olds now, but they were found in Lebec in one of the outhouses in the toilet. And one of the guys from the Mission of Hope was out there, and they found them, and they brought them in and raised them up. And why that happened is, in Haiti, Haitian voodoo is very, very strong, and demonic presences and all that's very, very strong. And basically, if you have twins, it's thought that in the voodoo world that one of them needs to be given a sacrifice because it's told that it's a sign from the devil that one of them's possessed or something like that. And so usually you'll sacrifice one of them. And then, but then for this family specifically, they were going to sacrifice one, but then they thought, well, if this one was, possessed, well, probably this one is too, or cursed or whatever. So basically they got them both and they threw them both in this toilet. And anyway, so they found them, raised them up, and it was just a great story, comeback story, and they were able to survive, and God had a different plan for them. And anyways, happiest kids you'll ever meet, funniest kids you'll ever meet, super good at basketball, super cool, awesome people. Anyways, I showed them Lebec, and then obviously the beach, showed them around the beach, and then that was a short day. So we got back around 3. So we had from about 3 to 6 to really go out on the beach, do what you want, go swimming, go on trampoline, snorkeling, and so that was really kind of our beach day. Anyway, so then the day after that, we went to the Pastoral Training College on the Bercy campus. We went there, and so last year when we went, they were kind of building it. We were helping building it. We were making concrete and setting the rebar, and we had to move these, I kid you not, ton of bricks. There were bricks about this big, and you'd carry 2 at a time, and one of them probably weighed 50 pounds, and there was probably 3,000 of them. And so we, as a team, we had to move them over so they could begin to lay them. And that was a really tough day. And if you look on my Instagram, the picture of me and 2 other guys, and we're kind of sitting there flexing. That was from the Pastoral Training College last year when we were on concrete duty, where we literally had to get 6 buckets of gravel, or 6 shovels of gravel, 6 buckets of gravel, 4 buckets of sand, pour them in this thing, pour some water in this thing, and mix it up and get a little bit of concrete, put it down in these holes, and so it was just really dirty. But anyway, so they finished it. So our job was to go in and just paint the whole thing inside and out. That was an all-day project, very long, very hard. But how I see it is, obviously we're there to help, but also a group of 41 athletes that can come in there, young athletes that can come in there and just knock it out all day, work really hard, be exhausted after we're knocking out all day, is a huge help and a huge blessing, because to them, for these 40-year-old, Haitian men that had to come in here, it would have took them about 2 weeks. And so it was just a huge help. It sucks, but, it's optimization of labor, and it was good. And so that was all day. We painted that whole thing, and inside and out, and it was tough, but it was good. And we have our we didn't take a whole lot of pictures, like personally, but we had a team photographer there that did. She was in and out of every scene taking pictures, and her name's Maddie Robson, and she's phenomenal. And so whenever that Dropbox opens and that video comes out, I'll let you guys know. But so she's taking all kinds of pictures throughout the day, and then we get back to the resort. We eat, and My favorite meal, seared conch. It is the most delicious thing you'll ever eat in your entire life. Imagine like a spicy calamari. I mean, it's just chewy like that. I mean, it's just delicious. Sounds gross. Actually tastes delicious. Anyways, next day is when we went to Vivi's dad's house. So pretty much only the basketball team, anyone associated with the basketball team. So we had a video coordinator there from the basketball team that came with us, all the coaches, the girls, obviously, then me and this other guy named Shondale, which are, we're both on the scout team. Connor, my roommate, who is a manager on the basketball team, and then whoever else Vivi wanted to invite me. So anyways, we rode on a canter. Canter basically, imagine like a U-Haul, but the back of the U, like there's no windows. Like it's just like, you can just hang your arms up the back, basically. Anyways, so we rode one of those, about 15 of us, on about a 2-hour canter ride through the countryside up into St. Mark and to her dad's house. And this is a side of Vivi that I had never seen. Me and Vivi are good friends. We've hung out outside of basketball, and she's a great young girl, great player, gonna emerge into a phenomenal basketball player. I have I wouldn't call it privilege of going against her every day in practice because she completely demolishes me. I mean, I'm 6'5", 220, but I mean, she's 6'1", 220, or 200, 210, and she's just great. I mean, people say, oh, you play girls, you probably tear them up. No, I play the big girls, and they are strong. I am out of shape and fat. They are muscular and strong. So, I mean, so they, I saw a side of Evie and her family and where she's from that I really enjoyed seeing, and got to meet her dad. Her dad's name is Vegans, and super cool guy and huge. I see why she's so big. He's like 6'2", big guy. But, I mean, I walk in there, and compared to, after seeing all these other Haitians, this impoverished place, and I see him, it's just, I walk in there, he's got this bandana around his head, he's got this necklace on, he's got these Nike golf shorts with his keys attached to him, with this, wife beater on, and his sunglasses, backwards on his head right here. I mean, and he's super cool. Obviously, he knows English. He raised Vivi. He's a very educated Haitian. He owns a funeral home and a gas station, and he does some other stuff. He's in the process of building, out of his own money, a school for the kids of St. Mark so that they can go to school, because the closest school is miles down the road. And just a loving guy. He lived in the States for a few years, but he really felt called to come in Haiti and help out his home country and be here and make a difference here. And just super good guy. I mean, he's got 6, 7, 8 children, I'm sure. He's got 2 adopted kids and Vivi. And he lets people hang out that don't have homes or whatever down on his porch. And then his house is kind of upstairs. And he's just a generous guy. Everyone in his village kind of sees him as the grandpa of the village. And very generous guy. And hires maids for his home. It's not the most luxurious lifestyle to be a maid, but you're getting paid and you're getting in a cool house, and it's just an opportunity to thrive in Haiti. And he's just a great guy. Anyway, so we went and he cooked us dinner, huge dinner, chicken, rice, plantains, peaches. I mean, whole 9 yards, and just a great guy. I mean, and he showed us a side where he's in the process of building this school, and it was funny. We get in the canter, and he just kind of, we're thinking it's, you got to get in here and get locked down and close the gate and so you don't fall out. And he just kind of hops on the back of the canter and smacks the top of it and signals the Haitians start driving. He's riding the back of it like a garbage truck man. And he starts saying hi to Creole to every Haitian on the block as we ride down the street. And it's just funny. And we asked him, Vegans, do you know everyone in this village? He said, it's a good chance that I do. And so, anyways, he's super cool. I'm glad I got to meet him, and he's a funny guy, and see Vivi in her home environment. And anyway, so that was really fun. And then we ate lunch, and then after that, we went back to the pastoral training college to finish. While we were painting the first time, there was one room that was under construction. They were laying the floor, and so we go in and we finished painting that one. And finally got that done. I mean, I'm glad we did it, but I'm sick of seeing. I painted so much those past 2 days. I don't want to see it ever again. I'm glad I go for it, use it, but the colors peach and the light color of blue that we painted. Those two colors I never want to see again in my life. We painted so much, but I'm glad it's done. And so every time we drive past it, Adam would say, well, look at that beautiful building over there. Anyway, so after that, so this is when we really start. We're doing our work in ministry, and so basically our task is to so we're gonna paint the basketball court in ministry. So every year we have a game at the Mission of Hope against our high school team, and then we play kind of like a pickup game at ministry. But this game, I kid you not, it is incredible. It is like the game of the century. Like the whole village comes. In Haiti there's not a whole lot to do, so this is like the big event. And we play the men of ministry of the village, and we come in, and it's just the biggest game ever. And like it's like the art festival, the Northern Music Festival, or everyone in town is just coming to watch. And so basically, so the first day that we were there, we paint, and just to paint the picture here, we had the bus, not allowed to go to the bus alone, like I said, village, dangerous, and we had the national police, National Police of Haiti, there to escort us the whole time we were there, just because it's nothing happened, but it can get bad, and so we want to make sure we're out of there by 7 o'clock. Anytime we're there, because it's it's just kind of bad. And anyway, so we're painting. So we're painting all the walls outside. It's surrounded by this big concrete wall. Painting all of that, moving all the gravel to make the ground even out. Like it's the court, and a little bit lower, it's like all the ground. So we're moving all the gravel to even that out. And there's this huge bleachers like all the way up to the wall. We paint all that. We changed the lights on the court. Cleaned up the court, and then the Haitians of that village in ministry, they kind of their thing. They wanted to paint the court and paint the backboards, and that was their thing. That was their contribution to it, and it was their village. They want to do it, so okay. Anyway, so we paint the whole village, and then we when we're done, and we go back to the resort. We eat, hang out, play cards, whatever. But then the next day we go there. So this day we're kind of done with the work side of our trip. Now it's more of like ministry side. So now we go back, and we're gonna go around the village with the translator, split up into groups, and we're gonna invite people of the village to come to the game. Our game was that night, 5 p.m. Invite them to come to the game. Ask them if they want us to pray for anything, and then we have to pray for them with a translator. And just kind of talk to them. We went around just inviting everyone. But when we get there, I see the court, and they painted the whole court. The center court had a big OU on it. And then one of the backboards had said like Sooners or something, and the other one said OKC, like Thunder with the Thunder logo. And kind of that was just their way of showing respect. Like, thank you for helping us out in our village, and we wanted to name this court after you, and all that. And so that was really cool. Very respectful people. And anyway, so we're inviting people to the game, going around, praying for people. And then anyway, so we had the game at ministry. And this game, I kid you not, Game 7 NBA Finals to a T. I mean, there's people sitting on the tops all around the concrete fences. All around the concrete fences, there's people sitting all around everywhere. All the bleachers are full. They're wrapped around the court. I mean, you can't see outside the court if you're on the court. I mean, there's people everywhere. And so we're split up into teams. So they have their group, the men of ministry that are playing, and they have their own little practice jerseys they brought. And then we have, obviously, groups of 5. So there's 4 groups of 5. So you'll play for 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. There's 2 20-minute halves, and then the second half you play 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, and then whoever's like playing good or whatever, if it's a close game, the last 4 minutes. But anyway, so I like to think I held it down. I had 6 points. I had a handful of rebounds. Made 2 free throws. I held it down. So from an out of shape, fat person, scout player like myself, I held it down for the scout team. But anyways, we went into two overtimes, and we ended up winning by 2 points. But I mean, this was the most. And I'll go ahead and say this is the most intense game I've ever been a part of in my entire life. I mean, Haitian basketball is very intense. They foul you like crazy. You go for a layup, they will take your legs out. That's why the game plan before was don't jump too high. Unless it's clear, don't try to dunk or just be smart because that's just their culture. They're not trying to be mean. They just will take your legs out. They don't mind just taking ACLs like that, like left and right. Ask Landry Jones. He got hurt because he didn't listen. When he was in college, he didn't listen to Adam, and he went up and tried to dunk it or something. He took his leg out, and he got hurt. But it was so intense, and it was starting to get really heated, and in this dangerous village, it was kind of scary, and so Otis was there, and he kind of had to step in a little bit, because it was just, just athletes and competitors when you start getting at it, and it was just, but anyway, it was good. They were really good sports. They were starting to get kind of mad, though, and at this point, I'm thinking, look, I know it's competitive, but, don't want to throw a punch or push anyone, because if you do, we are not leaving the country along this village. We're not leaving. There's probably 500 Haitians, and there's 45, but, it's not good. But anyways, and so, hinges are raised, we win, and so we took this as a good opportunity. We had all the translators and all of us to say, Vini, which means come here. Get everyone in the circle. And so it's just this huge, imagine a high school basketball game just won the state championship. And then, so the tension in the room, but also when everyone rushes the court, just imagine a full basketball court full of people, shoulder to shoulder. Get them in there, and we had a translator, and we just wanted to pray over them. And Adam really did a good job, and he was just saying that, we've been here all week working on this basketball court, serving your village, and so we could prepare it for this game for you guys. And thank you for opening up your village to us, and thank you guys for just playing extremely hard and for being good sports. And we come here to play the game of basketball that we love, but ultimately we all come here for one cause, and that's to serve Christ. And in this game, it shows us great integrity, and though the game may get heated, we know that we all are brothers and sisters under Christ after the game, and we know that life is hard, and whoever told you that life is easy lied to you, but life in Christ is good, and just kind of all this stuff. And it was just like it was really good. I think by looks on their faces, I could really tell that they liked it. And we kind of talked to them after the game, and they really respected us because they can tell if you're taking it easy on them, because they know that we're big athletes, and they can tell if you're taking it easy, and they don't want you to do that because they want a chance to show us that they can compete against us well, which they did. They almost beat us. They were beating us by 15 points at one point. They were starting to throw elbows and, hit us intentionally, and so people would throw elbows back, and they didn't react whatsoever. They didn't get mad. That's just it was just a sign of respect, honestly, that we continue to play hard, and we played their dirty game, and they loved it, and so they gave us respect for that. And so we talked to all of them, and we got to give away some shirts and some shoes and some shorts, and just a great game overall. But then, the sun's kind of going down. We're rushing to the bus to get out of there, and everyone's grabbing on the bus, wanting shirts and water and food. So we get out of there, and that was, as I reflected, this is kind of the part of the week where everyone's kind of breaking down. Everyone's tired. Everyone's vulnerable. They're starting to really see things and understand things and open up their hearts, and God's doing stuff in their hearts. And, you look around, and this was kind of the point where, like I said, everyone's vulnerable. And I kind of see it as just three phases, literally and metaphorically, throughout the week. We start out rap music on the bus. Everybody's singing, jumping up and down, crazy hip-hop club music. It's fine. It's cool. Everyone's being outgoing. Slowly, as God starts to work on you, and as you start to get a little bit more tired, and you're going through the week, you transition into the Ben Rector phase, Ed Sheeran phase, which I think is it's more of the mellow music, but it's like the sing along, the feely music. And everyone's still singing along, but it's just they're kind of tired, and transitions into strictly worship music. And he was just really tired. And this is when they're willing to be vulnerable and just seeing things, and God's doing a work in them, and it's bringing joy, but it's also bringing sadness. And so, I mean, there's this time where we're heading home on the bus at night and we're playing worship music. Someone has a Beats pill, and we're playing music over that. And, you know, I remember looking around, and I look over and I see Lim. He's sitting there. We're worshiping. We're singing a really good song that everyone knows, and he's got his eyes closed, and he's just like this, and he's just worshiping. And then I see him just like praying, like he's just praying continuously for like 5 minutes straight. And I'm looking out the window and feeling these things, and then I keep looking around, and I see 5 or 6 girls just crying, and everyone's just tired, but everyone's worshiping too from the music on the way home, and it's incredible. I mean, it's just, all week we're the hands and feet of Christ, for what we're doing. We didn't do a whole lot of ministry, going around and praying people and whatnot, but we're pouring into people by the joy and the happiness and the work that we brought, just to show the respect and show Christ's light through what we were doing, just building stuff or painting stuff or talking to people or playing basketball or just loving on kids, whatever it is. And so you could just feel it. I mean, it was, I can't really describe it, how that bus ride was, but it was really good, and I was really worshiping on a bus, and I was just looking out the window, and it was just good. Like, it was, it was just good. But anyways, so then we went back to the resort, and then the next day was our game with the Mission of Hope, which last year the Mission of Hope game was like the miniature game, but it was vice versa this year. It was okay. We were kind of losing. We came back and won, but everyone's just exhausted. A lot of people didn't play because I got hurt from the miniature game. And we played, and we ended up winning. This high school team, and they actually know how to play basketball. They're at high school playing, competing. They have a coach. They have skills. They're really good. They're talented, and they actually know how to play. They don't hard foul. They don't take out your legs. They'll still foul like any high schooler would. But anyway, so we played that game and won, and we got to, give out shoes and shirts and stuff for kids to wear, and kind of talked to them in the middle again, and got a group picture, and then we had lunch, and about an hour later we told them with the translator that if they were interested, we're going to put on a basketball clinic up at the Mission of Hope basketball court. If they wanted to come, so a lot of them came, and we did that, and that was good, and a lot of them learned a lot of things. And I remember after that, we had about an hour before we left, and I remember a conversation that I had with a guy that kind of stuck out to me, and we were on the basketball court, and I'd seen him all week at the Mission of Hope. It's just an older guy, probably 60 years old, and he was just shoving around the basketball court doing something. So he was sitting on the ledge of the basketball court, just kind of taking a rest, chilling out for a second, and my backpack was over there, so I was going to get it, but I was also, I was like, I kind of want to talk to this guy. And throughout the past 3 years, I've picked up a lot of Creole, and I learned a lot of Spanish in working, one, at Outback Steakhouse with a bunch of Mexicans. Two, in high school, I took 2 years of Spanish, so I didn't realize I knew this much Spanish, but I guess I did. So, and a lot of them speak Spanish. So between Creole, a little bit of English, and Spanish, I was able to have full conversations with these guys. And so at Vivi's dad's house, I remember having a conversation with one of these guys for like 30 minutes, which was really fun. And then on the beach, I was talking to this one guy that knew only Spanish, which is really cool. And then with this guy, he didn't know Spanish, but he knew Creole, obviously, and speaking a little bit to him, and so I go sit down, and I'm just like, bonsoir, which means good evening, and bonsoir, ça va bien, means how are you, you doing okay, and comment ça va, and all this stuff. And I was just talking to him and just trying to explain to him. I wanted to see how he was, because he was just sitting there, just kind of watching. He had been all week. I just wanted to try to kind of explain to him like what we were doing here, and so I kind of tried to explain like that we are the Students for Haiti team, we play sports. We're athletes, and like I say, that guy right there, jouez basket, jouez football, jouez volleyball. Like trying to tell him who plays what, and so I'm kind of talking to him a little bit, and so I learned how to say. So I said, I have a question, and it's moi gagne une question, which means I have a question, and then I wanted to say, do you know Jesus? And is où connaît Jésus? So I asked him, he's like, oh, oui, oui. Oui means yes. He's like, oui, oui. And he started, Jésus is Savior and all this stuff. And which is really cool. And then so I was kind of trying to talk to him, and he said, hey, son, he whistled at someone to come over, and it was his son. It caught me off guard because he's just kind of this, low income, just really hardworking, looks just kind of brittle old man. And his son was one of the players on the Mission Hill basketball team. Very nutritious and looks good, and raised in the Mission of Hope. And so I kind of got this feeling that his dad just kind of watched his son from afar. He worked for the Mission of Hope, doing labor, but didn't get to see him a whole lot. And just kind of watched his son from afar grow up and admire the man he's becoming into. And so he asked his son spoke English, and asked him his son said, what are you trying to say to him? So I was kind of explaining to his son, I was like, I just wanted to tell him that, ask him how he's doing, and then, we're the Students for Haiti team. We live in Oklahoma. We're athletes, and we just come here to serve this country and serve this village and do whatever help we can and to reflect Christ in whatever we do. And thank you for, letting us in and being always respectful and nice and, just stuff like that. And God bless you and good luck. And he was kind of translating that to him, and he just appreciated it. And he brought a smile to his face and shook his hand, told him au revoir, male, which means see you later. Anyways, that was really cool. Anyway, so then we got on the bus, and Adam said that he wanted to, as we wrap up the week, he wanted to give us some time to have a fellowship one last time together, to just get back and reflect and be able to, we started this trip together, and we kind of want to end it together, so we all just kind of get back and we'll all hang out and have good conversations, talk about your week. And so that's what we did. We had one last good night. Lots of cards played, lots of good conversations, and like I said, people are just vulnerable at this point. So I remember having a conversation with one of the girls. She just transferred from Kentucky. She's gonna be able to play this year. She's on the girls' basketball team. Kind of knew her through the scout team, but not really. And so I kind of got to know her on this trip. And then I was sitting on the bus, on that bus ride that I said that I couldn't explain, and everyone was kind of vulnerable. She was just sitting there crying right seat in front of me, and I didn't really notice until she turned around and she asked the question. I don't remember what she asked, but it kind of sparked conversation, and she told me how she'd been crying the past 30 minutes, 45 minutes, she'd been on the bus, and she was just telling me how she got attached to this kid, and he was just full of joy. And most of the Haitian kids will ask for food and water and money and all this, but this kid just ran to her and just clinged to her and just wanted her to hold him all the time that she was there. And then the next day when we got there, he had got a bracelet and gave it to her, or a necklace and gave it to her. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any money. Can't pay for that. And he was like, no money, just take it. And so and to her, that just really hit her. The kid us coming, just one of those things, it just lights up their life for the week, and it just gives them some joy that week. And he didn't want anything from her. He was just joyful, and he just wanted her presence. He just wanted to be around her, and just brought him joy. And that really just hit her. And these people, they don't have a lot. They don't have food and water. Like, how this kid get a necklace, and it might be the only necklace he owns, and gave it to her for her to keep forever. And so she ends up buying him something and bringing it back to him. But you can't really give it to them. They have to put it in their house, because last year I gave a kid something, and he ended up getting beat up for it. If you have anything luxurious on you, they'll beat you up for it and steal it from you and try to sell it. So it's tough. And so we just talked throughout the next 30 minutes and tried to make her feel better, but really just wanted to let her know that I had been there. I've been through what she went through last year and in high school, and I know what she's feeling like, and I know we have it good, and we can't take advantage of that, and just take every moment in while we're here, and especially when we get back home, we have to continue our work at home, and just so just good conversations, really, and so then the next day we ended up staying up all night because we left from the resort at 4 a.m. We had an 8 a.m. flight, 2-hour ride to the airport to go through customs and checking. So anyways, we all just stayed up. And, well, we all planned to stay up. It was me and 4 other people that ended up staying up through the whole night. So 5 of us or 6 of us. But anyways, and then, sleep on the plane, get home, and go to bed early, and it was fine. But, I'm one of those people, I'd rather stay up than get an hour of sleep and wake up and just be grumpy. So anyway, so that was fun. And, we got back and, near-death experience. The bus ride on the way to the airport. I don't know if Sweet Lou was just tired and it was too early, or he was mad, or just we were in a hurry. I don't know what it was, but for about 10 minutes on this 45-passenger bus, he passed every single car in Port-au-Prince. I mean, he was swerving in and out of people like he was a motorcycle. I mean, at one point we played chicken with another bus. Chicken in America is, let's play chicken for about 5 seconds, see who chickens out. That's the mentality. In Haiti, it's literally, you're playing chicken, and either, like Sweet Lou was perfectly okay with dying. He was like, you're going to move or I'm going to die because I'm going to hit you because I'm not moving. So, and I know it was crazy. He's got the most balls of any man I've ever. This man is a different breed. But anyways, that was funny. It was scary, but we're here. So, anyways, yeah, I got on the planes and turbulence wasn't too bad. Had the smoothest landing I've ever been a part of in my entire life. Flew Delta. It was great. Recommend that. Yeah, it was so pretty much what I learned. Kind of going into the trip, I was just, I was like, God, what do you have for me? And kind of when I left, I was excited, but as I got there, really the first day, I was just kind of like, it's kind of uneasy, and I was just because I had been, and it was a different group, kind of, but it was like, what do you have for me? Like, I've been here, and it can be a really long week if God's not working in you and you're not letting Him in. You're just working all day, every day. It can be a long week. You can't really enjoy it, but you have to choose to just be expectant of whatever God's going to bring you, and just let Him work in you. And I believe that's kind of what happens in the Bible is. Well, today a lot of people don't see the favor of God because they don't expect Him to come in. They don't accept it. And it's like the same thing in the Bible. When Jesus, before He would do miracles, He would say, do you believe you can be healed? And they say yes, and they believe it, and they want it to happen. They accept it, and then it happens. And it's the same thing here. And like I was talking about earlier, that's kind of why we don't see a lot of miracles and a lot of things working in people's lives here, because we don't fully accept it. We have too many walls up. And so going into the trip, that's kind of what I wanted to do. I just wanted to have my walls down. I just wanted to be acceptant of whatever He's going to do, expectant and accept it. And it was great. And I took advantage of that completely. And it was good. And so I went just thinking, like, what do you have for me this time? And it was really just, I've seen this stuff, but just continue to do the work and continue to be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. And one of the things that was on my mind was a lot of times things happen to us, or we're kind of called to do certain things like serving and doing whatever, and we kind of ask, like, why? And it's the same thing with loving your enemies. Like, God wants you to love your enemies, and it's like, why would I do that? Why would I show this person grace and mercy? And why? And I kind of learned, don't ask why, just do it. I mean, what happens if God asks why? He shows us grace and mercy. What if He gave us what we deserve? We'd be in hell tonight. And so, don't ask why. He gave His life as a ransom for us. And so, the verse that was on my mind was Mark 10:45, and that's Jesus, the Son of Man, came to earth not to be served, but to serve and to give His life as a ransom for many. And that's just the verse that was on my mind. And anytime it started getting hard, I know that I'm doing good work, and I'm being the hands and feet of Jesus, and all glory to Him, and He's being pleased by what I'm doing. And some people plant seeds and some people water seeds, but only God can make them grow. And so, whether a seed's been planted, something's been started in Haiti, and we're just there watering it. It's up to, and He's making it grow. The country's getting better. More and more people are getting saved and living out their lives for Jesus, and including Americans that come over to help just because they want to help because they're good people, but they leave changed. Like Jesus doing a work in them. And so, I mean, it was just a great experience, and I kind of stepped into a leadership position. I prayed over some families a couple times, and with the translator, stepped out and did that. I knew a lot of, some Creole and some Spanish. So I was able to talk to people and translate a little bit for some people, and it was just awesome. And yeah, I mean, it was just there's something about giving your life away for a week. Just go and just give your life away. Don't worry about anything else. And I had a great time doing that. And it was just phenomenal. And one of the biggest things was, we have, something's working in us, and we have this really strong feeling and just more spiritually close and in tune with God than ever before. But we have to bring that back to our mission field here in Norman, Oklahoma. I mean, we can't just forget what happened there. I mean, it can't turn into this surreal, like, dream thing that you don't know if it was real. It's actually a reality, and it happened, and it happens, and it's going to happen, and it's still happening. And bring it back home. And if you don't share your story and share God's story and share the story that's happening in your life, then you rob God of the glory. So that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to share all this with you guys and show you what's going on in Haiti, and the favor that he's showing, the mercy and the grace, and what he's doing in our lives and in their lives. And it's just been incredible. And so if there's one thing I kind of wanted you guys to pray for me about, and this is something that Adam said that really resonated with me. He was telling a story, and as people were asking him what he wanted them to pray for, like, while he's going on this trip, and everyone's like, "I'll pray for you, hear my prayers, but he was like, no disrespect, but I'm prayed up. Like, there's so many people praying for me, and I've been praying. My family and my wife and my kids, we've all been praying for this trip, but I need for you to pray for me when I get home, because when you do the work of God so strongly, like this, and when you're even at home, when you're really full of the Spirit and you're doing God's work, that's when the devil really attacks you. That's when he really attacks you. I mean, think about it. Think about the time before you were a believer, and how many times did the devil tempt you? I don't remember one time before I was a believer the devil tempted me, because I wasn't a threat. And now I'm a threat because I'm living in the Spirit. I'm living through Jesus and for Jesus and doing things, being the hands and feet of Jesus, and bringing people to Christ and away from the demons and the devil, and that's a threat to him. And he wants as many people to come to hell as he can get. And I'm a threat to that goal of his. And so I just feel like anytime something like this happens, all 3 years when I get back, the devil's just really attacked me and wanted me to get back into the temptation and lust and the sin that I was in before I left, and wants me to be unclean and wants me to hop right back into this. And he has a very potent way of doing that when I get back to the States, just the culture here and the things that are so easily accessible, and the lack of intentionality and the lack of conversations with people, and the lack of authenticity and genuineness, and just the lack of kind of fellowship and accountability just when you get here, and just the lack of just being able to put back up your walls so easily and blocking God off. And that he just has a way when you get back of just really attacking you. So if I wanted you guys to pray for me for one thing, it'd be just pray for me for strength and bravery and courage and diligence and wisdom and just a mind to see what God has for me and what he wants me to do, and discipline as I get back from Haiti, so while I'm under attack. And so while I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. The devil is going to be attacking me. And I'm led by the Spirit and by Jesus, and I understand that, and I have authority over the devil, but sometimes it really feels like I don't. And he has a lot of power, and it's such a simple thing to shut him out, but such a difficult thing. And even since I've been back, I feel like I've been attacked heavily. And but I in quiet time every morning, I pray to God to ask for that strength to be renewed every single day. And another thing that Adam said that on this trip that resonated with me is that I'm not scared of the devil. I'm not scared of the devil. The devil has no authority in my life. What I'm scared of is waking up every day and not putting on the armor of God. When I have on the armor of God, nothing can touch me. When the armor's not on, then the devil can get me. Then the things of this world can get me. And so I'm not scared of the devil when I have the armor on. Well, if I forget to put it on, or if I start getting lackadaisical and I don't put it on, that's when I'm scared. So that's all. That's what I want you to pray for me. And thanks for all the support, mentally, financially, in your prayers and thoughts, and it means a lot to me. And this trip is such a great cause. And I know, at least for me, it kind of seemed like, I went last year and paying all this money to go again and what's happening, but it really, it continued to grow the seed that was planted in Haiti, and it continued to grow the seed that was planted in my heart in high school when I went. And as I've grown, just kind of had my, I guess, so to speak, well, let's see, in about 2 months, it'll be 6 years since I got saved. And so as I've grown, I've grown in that and grew closer to the Lord and more confident, and now I can completely say I have my identity in Christ. And as I've kind of grown into that, it's been a ride. And like I said, whoever told you life in Christ would be easy lied to you, but it is the best life and it is the good life. And I just want to thank you guys for all of that, and I just want you to know that I'm continuing to do good things, and through Young Life, and just trying to do it through my personal life. And a lot of times it's not straightforward sharing the gospel, but I think a lot of times you need to earn the right to be heard, and you need to have that relationship with people. And if that means not sharing about Jesus for a long time, then until we're comfortable, until I have that relationship where I can, then that's fine. And I think I'm trying to do that as best as I can in my life. And if it takes a person their whole life to know Jesus, but they know Jesus in the end, it's worth it. That's why I don't want to force things on people. That's my biggest thing in my college ministry. I don't want to force Jesus on people. If they don't want to talk about it, they don't have to talk about it. There'll come a day when God convicts them, they'll want to talk about it. And I want to be that person that's there to talk about that with them. And so if you go your whole life without knowing Jesus, but you know him in the end, it's all worth it. Because our lives in the grand scheme of eternity is like vapor in the wind. It's like this. This is what Adam always does. It's gone. That was our life. In the grand scheme of things, I mean, it's there and it's just gone, just evaporate. By the way, this is the best 97-cent investment I've ever made in my entire life. When you're drenched in sweat in Haiti, you like to, cool off. It's good stuff. But anyways, thank you guys for listening. Very lengthy video. I'm sorry. I do like to ramble, but I do like to really paint the picture. I could talk for another hour and a half if you wanted, but I'm sure you don't want that. Most of you probably won't watch the whole video, and that's fine. But for those of you that do, here it is. And I just want to thank you guys for everything. And I love you guys, and I miss you guys, and God bless.